A day that will go down in infamy.
Big show.
Big show.
Can I say something real quick?
About our festive regalia.
This might be the biggest show
of our lives.
We've ever done.
In life.
In
presently,
history.
Past, or future.
We might as well end the show after this episode. That's how big it is. Hello, Joseph.
Big.
Joseph, is this the biggest thing you've ever seen in history?
We might win a daytime Emmy for this one.
Big.
I feel it.
Big release this week. This is the one. This is it. This is it.
This is the 1,000.
Jarrell knows. I mean, just look at this. We went to the Midtown Comics. Obviously, you can get Action Comics 1000 in our app.
1K.
Look at this beautiful Steve Rude variant cover.
Oh, yeah.
Look at it. Chris bought it. Chris, you're gonna love it.
You're gonna not be disappointed.
What variant cover did you get?
This oldie.
Mike Allred.
And Laura Allred.
And Laura.
Can't forget the gal.
They're the most dynamic duo in comics.
In comic history.
And probably the best dressed.
History.
I really love that cover as well.
It's great. He has a nice frame. Love his underwear. It's great.
His undies are back. That's the big story.
We're here to report the red panties are back.
The undies. So Action Comics 1000 is out today from DC, and it's got maybe like 8 stories included. It's $8, but it's also like 80 pages.
It's so worth it.
I honestly agree. I'd probably, maybe like a week ago, I was probably walking down the streets of New York City. I was like, I'm never paying $8 for a comic book. Now,
I would pay it twice.
My $16.
I would.
Joe says he has all issues and variants. My God, Joe, you're a hero.
You are a hero.
I better bag those up, buddy. Board them up.
Board them and bag them.
Board them and bag them.
Let's talk about our favorite parts.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your favorite part?
Honestly, well, let's just overall, this was such a great compilation of Superman moments from back when,
back in the day
and to present day.
Have you read much Superman from back in the day? Or are you a relatively new Superman reader?
I'm a relatively new Superman reader.
And it's pretty accessible for a new reader.
Because I think it's once you sort of know the general idea of how he came to be, all of the villains he fights and his love interests and
Lois.
The basic things about his life. So that's sort of all you need to know.
That's all you need.
That's all you need to know.
He can fly. He wears red undies.
So you liked this first?
I like the first one. Yeah,
the first one too.
First one starts out with Supes trying to ward off an alien invasion, but Lois is trying to get him to this kind of Superman...
It's Superman Day festival.
Yeah, and people are telling stories about how he's affected their lives. And
his son's there.
Love John. And there's actually a really cool moment where some guy is telling a story about how Superman helped him get arrested 5 times, but the 6th time he finally saw a way out and Superman helped him turn his life around. It was actually pretty interesting because John was like, why are they letting this criminal up to speak at this event? And Clark's like, hold on, let's hear a story.
We'll let him finish. And he was like, that's why, son. That's why.
He did whisper, that's why, son.
That's why, son.
What other stories did you enjoy?
Well, I want to tell you my favorite part of this whole thing.
Fave?
Find it.
The fave.
All right.
And then we can talk about the Bendis story at the end.
So just listen to this part. Listen. Staying true to yourself, abiding by the morals and ethics ingrained to you by your mom and dad, along with the lessons you'll learn in your own life, can pull you through the darkest of times.
Can we get that tattooed?
Yes, on our backs.
Our face.
But it's just moments like that, and you're like, damn, Superman's literally he's so inherently good. And thinks that everyone has good in them.
Yeah.
Unlike Batman, who's just bad.
He's bad. He's getting married.
Bad boy.
He's getting married to Kat. I remember years back, I used to think that Superman was literally the lamest character. I didn't read a Superman story that I really liked
because he was like too good and boring,
too goody. But we'll talk about it later because there's a huge Superman sale happening now, and 2 of my favorite books that kind of turned me around are available on sale for like $5 or $6. So we'll talk about that later.
Totes.
How about the Bendis story at the end?
The Bendis story is great because it's going to set us up for that first miniseries that's coming out, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. Jim Lee did the art. I didn't even know Jim Lee was doing the art in his little mini story.
Surprise.
Shocker. I was shocked. And there was actually, it was people who aren't familiar with Bendis. He's the guy that kind of revitalized Spider-Man in Marvel Comics around the year 2000. And a lot of the animated series and the movie stuff that happens with Spider-Man came from his writing. And also Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, there wouldn't be a Netflix TV series with those characters without him. So he's moved over to DC Comics and he's taken over all the Superman books. And his first work is in this book at the end. Like the
last story. So that's going to set us up nicely.
And it's pretty funny because they show him getting beat up and some women rescue him.
2 women rescue him and drag him into this little cafe for safety. And they keep talking about, they're like, wow, the red pants are back. What's going on? Does he know that on Earth, we don't typically wear underwear on the outside of our clothes?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, and they just go on and on about it, and it's really good.
I didn't expect him to, poke fun or mention that he's wearing shorts again, but, there was maybe 2 pages where they were just kind of, making fun of Superman.
There's some playful banter about his red pants.
So there's, 5 or 6 other stories. There's one that's, all splash pages from Pete Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, which is amazing. Marv Wolfman, Kurt Swan, Paul Dini has a story. Tom King, your boy.
My boy.
And then on Twitter, we asked folks what would be their dream team for Action Comics. So we'll read some of those tweets in a minute. But what do you think your dream team is for Action Comics?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I would like to see Tom King and Joelle Jones.
I thought you were going to say Tom Cruise for a second.
Tom Cruise. You got too excited.
I did.
Because I think when they paired up to do the Batman book that had Catwoman and Wonder Woman in it, it just meshed so nicely together. And I would love to see how she draws Lois Lane. And I would love to, get 1D back in there, see how she draws Superman. I think that would be a great pairing.
Brandon, allegedly we're not supposed to wear underwear on the outside.
Allegedly.
Didn't Doug, what was his superhero name? Remember that cartoon, Doug?
Yeah.
Was it Quailman?
Quailman.
Yeah. He has a belt.
Tighty whities.
Around his head. My dream team, not that anyone asked me.
Oh, yeah. What's your dream team? Here we go.
Okay, finally. I'm pulling up the tweet, hashtag Action Comics Dream Team. Let us know in the comments what your dream team is. I actually really loved Mark Waid's Birthright. That was one of the books that turned Superman around for me. And Chris Samnee. You might know him from Daredevil or most recently the Captain America run. I would pay.
You're obsessed with.
I would pay maybe $9 an issue.
$9
for those 2 to do a Superman comic.
Yes, that's crazy.
That's how much I would pay. $9.
Not $9.50. Not $9.75.
Not a penny. Not a penny more.
Is that with or without tax?
Let me see. Let me go through some of our tweets here. Matthew Schofield, Jeff Parker, and Doc Shaner. I love Doc Shaner's stuff. He could be the ideal Superman artist as well.
I think there's a lot of good people that would pair up nicely for this.
Kurt Swan and Alex Ross. Alex Ross currently doing those covers for Amazing Spider-Man that we see all the time. Glenn being a jokester, John Byrne and John Byrne. John Byrne did the original Man of Steel run.
John Byrne squared.
which still holds up pretty well, honestly. Mikey P wants to know, Slim, what happened to Forsman and Fife? Dream Team tweet. That's the ultimate one. Do
you have many dream teams?
Well, actually, I was thinking of making a running joke that whenever this topic comes up, my answer is always going to be Chuck Forsman and Michelle Fife. But Mikey P knows. He knows my ultimate dream. Dreams.
He's probably in your dreams. That's why.
Mikey P, I love you. Stay in my dreams forever. So we'll read some more. We'll read some more tweets during the rest of the show. What else should we talk about this week besides Action Comics? Anything? Should we just talk about Superman for the rest of the show?
He is a Superman.
Kal-El. You were doing an amazing Kryptonian accent earlier.
It was.
Give us a taste.
It can't be repeated.
Give us a taste. What other books did you read this week? We'll come back to Superman throughout the entire show.
We can. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, let's talk
I
about...
didn't even know about that variant. Oh, wait, no. Is that Batman or Action Comics?
This is Batman.
Oh, show that one. My gosh.
Jeez, my word. That's why I got it.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's a great cover.
Of glory.
Is he wearing the red shorts or is it dark? You can't tell.
It's dark. You can't tell, but I'm going to go ahead and say that he's not.
Upon closer inspection, he is.
And upon close, yeah. So, oh, wow.
Tell me about it. Tell me about this Batman.
We liked this.
I loved it.
So, this is kind of a mind F a little bit.
You want to get mind effed? Get ready.
You're about to get mind effed. So, is this in an alternate universe? Kind of.
Sort of, yeah. It opens up and like Green Lantern is kind of acting strange and he kills himself in like the first couple pages and
he
Booster
has like
Gold.
A Joker like smile and you're like, that's odd.
Speaking of which, did you see that horror movie Truth or Dare where the kids have those Joker smiles?
Really, is that what it is?
Well, like something happened. It looks scary. Something happens to these kids and they play Truth or Dare, and if you don't do the truth, you die. Right? But like when the kids ask them, they smile. And then they smile more, and like their face looks really creepy.
No. So it's Batman's birthday, right? That's
good for him.
It comes out. This is where it starts. And Booster Gold gives him this gift of like a time machine, essentially. And it's when he basically saves his parents from getting murdered.
Right.
And then
as a gift,
what are the ramifications of if that actually happened? And it's not good.
Not very good at all.
Not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. So they're celebrating his parents' anniversary. Oh no, it was a wedding gift, not a birthday gift. I'm sorry. A wedding gift because, he's getting married to Catwoman.
Spoilers.
Everyone knows that. And if you don't know, now you know. So Booster goes to the anniversary party of his parents who are not dead. And it's like, this is a wedding gift I got you. I made this like little thing, trinket guy, and we went back in time and your parents aren't dead now. And then they're like, but guess what? We can reverse this and fix everything and we'll be back to normal. And then what?
Don't say that. I think that's the end of the issue. That might be a spoiler about what Bruce does.
Happens? Okay. And then Bruce being Bruce does something stupid and moody.
Thanks for watching, Alex. Hello to you too. This one, I didn't know that this was the plot. I just like picked up the new Batman because Tony Daniel is an artist that I like, and he was the new artist for this storyline. I was like, oh, let's see what's going on in Batman. It's pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
There is a Batman in this like alternate future, but it's not Bruce. He never became Batman. Someone else did. Right. And he's like the Punisher. He's like killing people left and right.
Right. Like Jason Todd is around.
He's like a tire salesman.
Yeah.
Security tire salesman.
And there's all these people they refer to as the Jokers. So there's like more than one Joker. There's like a lot of them. And they're just like ruining Gotham.
It's a vintage Joker.
Cobblepot's mayor, I think.
President.
He's
trying to make Gotham great again, I think was a quote that I saw as well.
That might be something that's...
Real quick.
Cable.
Real quick. This is a shocker to me. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a huge X-Men fan.
Are you?
And I picked up last month's Cable because it's got a new writing team, new art team. So I was like, this is my jumping in point.
It's time for you.
And I jumped in.
Get back in there.
I got back in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't regret it. Cable 156. Don't let the number scare you. When I was a kid, I was grabbing like X-Men 300. I didn't care. I was like, who cares about a number? I'm going to read this book.
Yeah. Could you count to 300?
I can't even read.
I can't read, but I'll look at the pictures.
Sound like a Victorian era child.
You definitely had an accent back then.
Hi, Clark. So Cable's storyline is something that I've been asking for years about why they don't bring Hope back. Hope was like this... For a period of time in the X-Men universe, there was no new mutants being born, because remember when the Scarlet Witch was like, no more mutants. And Hope...
She's a Debbie Downer.
She was a big-time Debbie Downer. Also, remember her accent in Age of Ultron? Ugh.
That was trash.
So Hope was like the first new mutant. I think it was like Messiah Complex or some X-Men storyline where all the mutants were freaking out like, oh my God, there's a new mutant. We got to protect her. And then Cable rescued this mutant and took her into the future to raise her as his own. But after a while, she came back as a teenager. Like they came back from time. She was older. But then she disappeared for some reason. I was like, why don't they ever do anything with Hope? So Hope's back in this Cable storyline, and he's telling a story about how they first like moved into the future when she was a little girl and how he taught her how to use a gun. And while they were on the run from some kind of terror, techno-organic ghost demon. And I really like it. It's from a creative team, Lonnie Nadler and Zach Thompson, who did a horror book that we really liked called Come Into Me, where like they had that like weird umbilical cord in the back of their head. But these guys are the real deal.
Real big deal.
Pay attention to these guys. And get
rock
Cable.
Your world.
Get rocked.
Get rocked. So this is a new #1 from Image.
Image.
It's called Skyward.
I love it already.
Love it.
Love that cover.
So imagine a world where we don't have gravity. What would happen right now if gravity just went away? We would be effed.
Hard.
Super bad.
Yeah,
super badly effed.
Bad news.
So that's pretty much what happens in this, and it's about how the world is adapting to what they call G-Day, the day that gravity disappeared.
G-Day.
So it revolves around a father and a daughter, and the struggles that they go through. He tries to protect her from suffering the same fate as perhaps their mother.
As perhaps
her mother. And it's pretty interesting because if you think about it,
I do think about gravity all the time.
And then it's funny because it's like she was just a baby when gravity went away. So this like fast forward to 20 years when she's like, I guess 21, and she's like, wow, how did people like ever live in a world where they couldn't fly around? Like she just doesn't understand how we could be sitting here right now.
Yeah,
like losers.
Mind F.
So yeah, it should be interesting. It's it's a cool concept. I'm into it. The art's cool. Like really nice.
David asked if I was bending the spine. You better believe I was bending the spine of this comic book, David.
Yep.
Look at this. Look what I'm doing to this comic book. Hello, Philip.
Hello.
Clark says nasty.
Nice.
Andy says Kiwi's top is badass.
Thank you. It is.
All right.
I tried to dress up for the occasion.
Let's get into
Let's get in some scary ass.
My next book. We're running out of tape real quick.
We are.
Infidel #2. Don't let that number scare you. It's #2. You can still jump right in.
Still jump right on it.
Because they do something that I love. They do a previously in right on the inside cover.
Or you could just read the one issue that goes before it.
Oh, there's so much work for people. So the main character, Aisha, has moved in with her mother-in-law type character. She's Muslim, and her mother is not super into that in the past. She's like really not liked it. She's voiced her opinion. So she's trying to rebound. They're just trying to get out of this house so they can move away. But for now, she's living with this woman, and she's starting to see crazy visions in the house. At the end of the last issue, she sees one of these visions and like tries to kill it, and she narrowly misses the mother and almost kills her. She's like, thank God that didn't happen. It could have made the whole situation way worse. So she's on this medication, and
I'm seeing some scary ass right there.
The doctor's like, maybe this
That's not fun.
No, it's not fun. The doctor's like, maybe this medication's causing this, because that can cause side effects. So he switches the medication, and she's like still having these visions. Obviously, it takes a while to get off the medication.
It kind of reminds me of a little bit of the other book that we like.
Yeah, that one. So all the while this
regression.
Yes, regression is very good. All the while you're wondering if this mother actually has changed her tune. She doesn't. She's not like offended by living with this Muslim woman, and you think the little girl or the child is going to be fine in this family scenario, and then it just gets crazier and more effed up. And at the end of this issue, I even like told you I read it on my computer yesterday.
On the ground?
I was like, Infidel is mad effed up, Kiwi.
Yeah.
And
then I was like, oh, God, I haven't read it yet. And he was like...
Yeah, she hasn't even read number 1 yet. Like, what is going on here?
I'm a loser.
Nasty is about that thing you said was sticking out of your neck. Oh, from Come Into Me, the comic book.
Oh, yeah, that was gross.
That book is really gross.
That book is not right.
I feel like we're seeing a resurgence in, like, really gross, really great horror books.
It's a great medium for that, though, if you think about it. You know, I would rather read this than watching it in a movie where I, like, S my P's.
Yeah.
With fright.
When are you going to go see A Quiet Place?
I will see that, though.
Go see the Truth or Dare movie with the freak smiles.
I will not see that. Ugh. That's just stupid.
What else?
You know, I do like Lucy Hale.
She's in it? How'd you know she was in it? I thought you didn't know about this movie.
I did know.
What's happening here?
Oh, God, liar. So you read most of this, and I read all of it, so I guess we can talk about this one. Internal
Descent.
I'm also blind.
From the writing team of Cable.
Look at that.
Told you, watch out for these guys.
Wow.
Watch out for them.
So this book opens with a mother who has lost her family. And she's super depressed, miserable, as one would be that lost their family. And this is like a lose your family in a not good way. Not that there could be a good way to do that. But I think in like a accident that maybe might have been her fault kind of way.
Oh.
Yeah. So she definitely holds like the blame, I think, for this. So she's visited by the spirit of... What's his name? William Blake.
William Blake and Agatha Christie, right?
No.
Oh.
By William Blake, the poet. So William Blake comes to her, and this kind of reminds me of like a Christmas Carol type thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a retelling of Dante's Inferno, I think.
Yeah. So he comes to her and is like, so if you want to come with me, and he's saying this all in poems that rhyme. If you want to come with me to a little place we call Hell, I think we can get your family back on Earth where people are living.
I think it's funny how this is like the one character you could do your old-timey accent for because it makes sense, but you're not doing it.
What could you do? So she's like, you know what do I have to lose? I'm freaking miserable. I'll come with you, William Blake. We will travel to the netherworld.
The nethers.
And try to find my fam. So they get there, and they're in, like, what's the place between heaven and hell?
The river Styx. Purgatory?
No, Purgatory. And there's like all of these like philosophers and poets and artists and musicians there. And they're all talking to her about, because they all want to know. They're like, oh my God, you're like immortal. Like, how's my stuff going up there? Like, are people still reading my stuff? Like, is the Pythagorean theorem still like a thing? It's like all they're concerned with. And she's like, hey, sorry, I need to keep on track and find my family.
Leave me alone.
So they do cross the river Styx together, and the adventure continues.
The adventure.
So she has to travel through like 9 ports of hell and then meet Lucifer and have like a little convo, I guess.
I love the double-page spread in there where she's walking up to the attic. Gorgeous.
Yes, we'll show this.
Gorge.
Oh, yeah.
Clark wants to know if we have any thoughts on Captain America's role in Avenger. Oh, my. You kidding me?
Look at that beauty.
I don't know if do we have any thoughts on Captain America's role in the movie Avengers? Or is that Avengers the comic? I'm not sure which Clark's referencing.
Well, in Avengers, I would say I think the beard's a nice look.
Obviously.
You know?
Rest in peace. I mean, he's probably going to die.
He's 100% going to die.
Hello from Greece. Hello from New York City.
Oh, that's where we reside.
Either one of you get into any Valiant stories? I really like their event books, like Divinity.
Oh, yeah.
But I think we read Ninjak. But I haven't read anything in the last few weeks.
Me either. All right.
We're running out of tape.
We're running out of tape.
Real quick, I'll blow through them.
Yeah. Let's do it.
The Earth has been stolen.
Still gone.
2 weeks left in this storyline.
New number 1 from the fine Black Hammer team.
My book of 2017, Black Hammer. This Spider King, number 3. I never remember which way to do it.
Yeah, me either. Assassinistas, one of my faves, number 4. Murder.
Book 3, Batman Creature of the Night. This is the real deal.
He is a creature of the night.
Oh, Kurt Busiek, one of the greatest writers of all time.
Kick-Ass continues with number 3. I like it. I think some people don't, but I think it's cool.
Mad Magazine number 1.
Whoa.
Out, I think last week in newsstands, but this week in comic shops. Fresh, new number 1.
Fresh.
I'm into it.
Fresh to death. And Diablo House number 4. Yes.
Thanks, Clark. We appreciate you. Avengers Back to Basics. It's back this week. If you're a subscriber of comiXology Unlimited in the States, you can just read it right now. You don't have to buy anything.
Nope.
Just read it.
Just open your
heart
device and your heart.
What's that one? Oh, it's Action Comics.
And Action Comics.
You ever heard of that?
Ever heard of the little...
We should real quick go. I think we got like 3 minutes left.
Yeah. Should we talk about what?
Our $10 stuff?
Yeah. All right. If I had $10, which I do... Go away. I would buy the massive volume 1, which is $4.90.
Wow, $5.
Yes, and that's like a post-apocalyptic thing, which I think everyone loves. Who doesn't
Everyone
love
loves
a good
the end of the world
story?
Very topical.
Very topical. I would buy the 6 Gun volume 1. $3.99. That actually kind of reminds me of the Infinity Stone situation, but instead of stones, it's guns type of thing. And then I would buy Black Panther: A Nation Under Our Feet Volume 2.
Good for you.
Because I read Volume 1, I haven't read Volume 2, and I'm sure it's
all good. It's all good.
Here's your list.
Oh, thank you. The Superman books I mentioned, Superman Birthright, $5.99. That's when DC kind of did another reboot of Superman. Mark Waid and Liana Liu created that one, so it's like a fresh take on the retelling of Superman. Like, this is the blueprint for another Superman movie, should they ever make another origin movie one. It's kind of the one they kind of hoped everyone used for the Man of Steel. And Secret Identity, which is in the same vein as Creature of the Night from Kurt Busiek. It's like an Elseworlds DC book, so it's like alternate reality, but it's about this kid whose parents were Superman fans, and their last name was Kent, and they named their son Clark. So he grows up with that name and is kind of bummed out. He's bullied about it. He wakes up one morning. He has Superman's powers. What do you do in that situation?
You save the world. Duh.
It's on sale right now. Go get it.
Go on, get it.
Go get it. We might have to wrap up for our coming soon.
I don't have any coming soon. I thought we were reading tweets. I thought that's...
Oh, yeah. Okay. We can do that before the camera shuts off.
Until the end.
Nathaniel says Grant Morrison on Action Comics. Dan Jurgens, Kurt Swan, Mark Waid, and Chris Somney. That person stole one of my ideas. Alan Moore and Steve and Gibbons reteaming.
That's your boy.
Tim Sale and Grant Morrison. Let's see. Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson. Tom King and Joe Madureira. Your boy. Kurt Busiek, Doc Shaner. Mark Waid and Jason Fabok. It's a pretty good pairing. So this is just a taste of the tweets. Let's see. Jim Lee. Well, he got a little bit of it.
James Lee.
They call him James Lee.
James Lee.
Let's see. Aaron says Kelly Thompson, Doc Shaner. You kidding me, Aaron?
You kidding me?
Don't steal my bit. It's my line.
It is.
All right, so we got to run. We're running out of tape. Thanks, everyone, for watching.